What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new video on how to avoid Redbubble burnout. Before I begin the video, let's go ahead and jump into the chapters of what we're actually going to be talking about. So the chapters are the screenshot that brought up the question for today's video, the different ways to avoid burnout, I'm going to give a metaphor of the top 5% in Redbubble, and lastly, I'm going to be talking about different ways to upload faster on Redbubble. Does that seem fair? I think that's a good video for today. So without further ado, let's get into it. The screenshot. So yesterday, somebody posted a comment, guys, on the video where I was talking about making $36,500 a year on Redbubble. And what I did was I didn't, give some general remarks like try to upload and do keyword research. No, I gave exact details of what exactly you have to do, right? I said 20,000 posts, 20,000 designs if you're above average when it comes down to designing, right? 20,000 designs. Now, for most people, this is going to give people a game plan. This is going to give people a roadmap of exactly what to do. They have this golden number in their head, and that's the number that they're chasing. And I broke down how you can complete that number within a year while still giving yourself 27 days or 26 days off, okay, which is basically like a month. So you can achieve it within 11 months, okay? So somebody had felt the need to comment with the name of Strength Fighter, and he comments, the real question here is how do you, and he said a word that I'm not going to say on YouTube, basically use the bathroom, upload, SEO, etc., 60 designs a day to get 20,000 designs. Okay? So basically he's saying, how do you do all this every single day to get 20,000 designs? Well, I laid out the numbers. It's very simple. All right? You're going to do 60 designs a day, every day, for the whole entire year with 26 days off. And you're going to have 20,000 designs. If you want to keep going, you don't want to take days off, very simple. You do the same thing, okay? He said, it's not a walk in the park like you make it seem to. First of all, I don't think I've ever made it seem like a walk in the park. Where did I ever say it was easy? Where did I ever say that it's no big deal? I never said it was a walk in the park. So let's just be clear and let's not allude to things that don't exist, okay? And then he says, a video on this would be much more appreciated. So really, I'm going to have to read in between the lines here, guys, because on the surface of this is just a question from somebody who doesn't want to put in effort. But I'm gonna really jump in, okay? And basically what my assumption of the comment is that this individual feels like it's going to be impossible and too hard and too difficult for him or her or whoever's behind that screen to do 60 designs a day every single day. He feels like maybe there's not enough time in the day, okay? So I answered back to this person, and I said very clearly that 60 designs a day don't take that long, okay? When you get good at what you're doing, they don't take that long. Maybe this whole Redbubble project, maybe 3.5 hours, 4 hours a day, okay? It shouldn't take that long. Now, some people like this guy will complain 4 hours a day. Oh my God, that's too much. Well, let's be honest. Let's look at now what I call the top 5% metaphor, okay? Redbubble, the top 5%. Let's just say, do you think that they're making 36 grand a year? Do you think that that's what they're pulling in, that's what they're bringing? Well, on top of that, let me ask you a question. Let's say they're not pulling in 35. Let's say they're pulling in more than that. Let's say they're pulling in 50, 60 grand a year. The top 5% of Redbubble, right? There's hundreds of thousands of creators. The website is probably the 10th largest website in the world. So let's just say the top 5 to 10%, okay? What do you think they're doing at home? Do you think they're just partying all day and not focused on their work to get to the top 10%? Or do you think that they were working all day? I mean, your name is Strength Fighter, so you should know about fighting, right? What do you think the top fighters do? Do you think that they're just not training all day to get to the very top percent? You think they're just partying all day and enjoying themselves and not doing work? These guys are putting in overtime, not even full-time hours, overtime. So the numbers that I'm recommending to people, right, is part-time numbers. It's not even full-time effort. So I don't know where the complaining is coming from or where the anger is coming from this guy in the comment. All right? I want to be clear about that. And the reason why I have to address this, guys, is that I can never help this guy. The guy that's commenting this comment in the comments, guys, I can never help this person because this person has already made up in their mind that they can't do it. So what I'm making this video here is for all the people that were on the fence about this, okay? For all the people that think that they might not be able to do it, I'm here to change your opinion. The person that commented this, they're already doomed. I can't help them, right? And I want to be clear. When I first started business, guys, when I first started doing business, when I was in college, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, I didn't know left from right in the business world, I didn't know anything. I didn't even know where to start. If somebody had laid out a game plan for me and had told me, do exactly this, and you'll make enough money to leave college and you don't have to worry about a single thing, right? I would be enamored. I would kiss that guy's feet. Do you understand how much pain I had to go through to figure things out in business? You know, when you're 17 and you never met a single person that does any kind of business work, it gets very, very tough. You have your parents, your family thinking that, you know, they're saying, no, this business stuff, it's a facade. It only gets passed down from generation to generation. That was their idea of it. You got to understand, my family, they never seen more than $3,000 to $4,000 a month if they were that lucky. And that's after working at a job overtime, working hard. My dad got disabled in his job because of how hard he was working. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? It's the mentality, guys, that controls the behavior. Your mentality, the way you look at the world, shifts the behavior entirely, right? It is your ideal. It is the way you look at things that controls your outcome. The person in this comments believes that it's impossible to do that work. It's too hard. He doesn't have the time. Well, then great. If you don't have the time and you're not made for it, then essentially don't try it. Don't do it because you're not designed to succeed in this area. You can try doing something else. You might succeed in something else, but Redbubble is not for you if you think that you're going to put up 20 designs and think that you're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's just not going to work out for the most of the people, okay? Now, something that I also want to say is when it comes down to the numbers, when I say 20,000 designs, understand, guys, that I'm not God here. I didn't make up these numbers. I didn't choose for 20,000 designs to be created. I didn't want the number to be 20,000. If it was up to me, I would say one design to make you all the money. But is that how the world really works? If it was worthwhile, why would it take some? If it was worth it, which is it's a $36,000 is a lot of money. I'm assuming this person is from, you know, a first world country, because if it was a third world country viewer right now, they would not be complaining like this. They wouldn't be, you know, sad about this. They would have, no offense, but got to work. Now, I'm from a first world country. I was born in a first world country. But I still have in my mind these ideas, just like many other viewers. And congratulations to all the people who are out there working hard. All right. So now I'm going to get to the tip where we're talking about ways to avoid burnout. So I don't even know if I spelled that wrong. Yeah, spelled it wrong. But ways to avoid burnout. You have to understand that you can't avoid burnout. You're going to burn out. But your dedication, your emotion to the topic at hand, to the idea of the life that you want to create is what's going to push you forward. Guys, I remember, and I don't want to keep going back to the time where I remember when I was starting my first business. It wasn't on Redbubble. People didn't have websites like they normally do today. It wasn't as easy to create a website. There wasn't many resources on even how to create a website. If you went on Google and you searched for how to create a website, there weren't hundreds of thousands of different results. There were very few results. It involved coding. It was hard to understand these kind of things. But guess what? The motivation that I had in me is what kept me dedicated. I wanted to see myself in a better position, and I wanted to see myself in a situation where I didn't have to commit to being a college student. I didn't have to commit to working for somebody else. And that emotion and that drive led me forward. And all I'm saying here is 1 year's worth of work is really not that much if you really think about it in the grand scheme, right? That 1 year's worth of work could pay you 36 grand, 40 grand for 3-4 years on. You get what I'm trying to say? Now, there's going to be two groups of people who watch this video. And It's unfortunate that this is going to be the case, but there's going to be two groups of people. You're going to have the people who are truly dedicated, who truly want to succeed. Those people typically don't comment. They typically don't, complain. They typically don't say anything. They just work. They work and they work hard. And then you have the other group of people that find ways to create issues, find ways to complain, find ways to make problems, find ways to just keep going on and on and on about their situation. Remember, guys, there's only two groups in the world. The people who do it and the people who pontificate about doing it. The people who talk about doing it, right? And honestly, from what I've seen, the majority of people that watch my YouTube channel, they're doing it. And big congrats to majority of the people who are watching, honestly. Because you guys are out there, you guys are going hard, you guys are working. But, you can't have this mentality of, it's too hard. Everything in the world is hard. Everything. Do you understand that just being born in a first world country today gives you to be part of the 1%? There are people in India, there are people in the Philippines, there are people in all across the world starving to death because they're born in a third world country. They don't have the option to go out there and get a computer and get a job. You're lucky enough to even have a computer to even write this comment, all right? So how to avoid burnout? The answer is you don't. You have enough passion to keep moving forward regardless of your burnout, regardless of your emotions, regardless of your pain, period. And that's what every successful person does. All right, now let's talk about ways to upload faster on Redbubble. Now, this is easy information. You could find any video on this, right? But you make sure all designs are the exact same size. If you're going to upload strategically, you make sure all your designs are the exact same size. And since they're all the exact same size, you're not going to have to worry about resizing them to fit the product that you're essentially putting them on. So the first design that you upload, you're going to have to make sure it all fits properly. But then after that, you're just going to literally go into your works, you're going to copy the same settings over, and you're going to place all the images. This is a very easy tutorial. Literally, you could go out and watch YouTube about this. But based on my explanation, you should figure out how to do that, okay? The next thing, you don't worry about the pricing. Your focus should be only uploading. Upload, right? Get as many designs as you possibly can. Get to that 60 per day. You don't need to worry about anything else. The next thing, you get into a flow state. You don't distract yourself. When you say that, hey, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to work on these designs, you do not distract yourself. I get it. You have family, you have kids, maybe sick family members that need your help. Well, you got to figure out how can you carve out a certain period of time in your life to get this thing done. You might have to wake up earlier. You might have to go to sleep later, but nobody said it was going to be easy. And lastly, stop complaining. You want to upload faster on Redbubble? You want to succeed? You want to make money? You got to stop complaining. You got to keep pushing forward, and you got to realize that this is not made for everybody. If you want to be the top 1% of a certain group of people, or the top 5%, or the top 10%, it's going to take effort. You can't just, party your way through it and relax your way through it. It doesn't work. Maybe you had that experience in college and high school where you didn't really have to focus. Let's be honest. High school and college don't really prepare us for real life, right? And the real pains that go with life. And I actually say this. I say, go through the pain now so you don't have to go through the pain later. My dad used to say that to me when I was a younger kid, when I used to do very bad in school and got bad grades. And I say it to everybody else now. Go through the pain now. And this is what I was telling myself when I first started my business. Go through the pain now so you don't have to go through the pain later. If I can figure out how to push myself through the pain now for this whole year, get my 20,000 designs up, create a full-time income, I'm not going to have to be in pain later while everybody else is working a 9 to 5. Does that make sense? Guys, I hope to motivate everybody in this video who's here watching. The reason why I'm talking so passionately about this is because I've experienced it. I didn't read it in a book. I didn't, see it in a movie. I've personally experienced it. The people around me were all saying it could not be done. You have to understand where I come from. It doesn't exist, this idea of business. It doesn't exist of this idea of succeeding. The idea was you go to college, you get into debt, you try to get a good job, and you take that money that you get from your good job and you slowly pay off your debt. And by the time you're 40, you start a life. That's not the life that I wanted to live. But you got to understand that was ingrained in everybody else's mentality around me. So it was very, very difficult to break free from that and actually see success. But when I did, I had the support by everybody behind me once I finally succeeded. But along the way, I didn't have that much support. I remember my family member, my sister, coming to me while I'm working in my room, and she would say, "Why don't you just go get a real job?" And not to say that I'm mad about that. I actually thank her for that, because that motivated me to keep going forward. I would tell her, "Listen, this is a real job. I'm just not getting paid yet, but eventually I'll get paid yet." And then down the line, I started to become successful. But you gotta stick to it. You gotta understand. You gotta stick to it. Now, once again, for everybody watching this, for the young, for the old, for the single moms, the single dads, for the people that are married, for the people that have kids, or people that are trying to create a better lives for themselves, this video should motivate you. This video should push you. This video should push you to be successful. And you have to realize that no matter what, you are not giving up. You are keep going. You keep going. You keep going. And that's all I got to say. Hopefully this video helped you guys out and put you in the right mindset. And I appreciate every single person who's watching. I didn't mean anything offensive by this, but I meant to encourage, and I meant to say that, guys, hard work reigns supreme. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.